help you save.
Now at 10, the polls are closed and votes are counted in Missouri and Oklahoma. We're going to have the numbers. Plus, the cleanup continues in parts of Carthage after a powerful storm tears through the city. And when the storm approached, tornado sirens did not go off in Carthage. We're going to find out why.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Ballot questions that'll impact your taxes, streets, and schools are answered tonight. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Voters in both Missouri and Oklahoma went to the polls today to decide local issues. In many communities, those included tax proposals. We begin our coverage with the Joplin proposition to extend an existing 3/8% sales tax for 12 years. It would fund capital improvements such as street projects. The proposal passes easily by a vote of 2,141 to 1,391. Carl Junction voters were asked to extend an existing tax to fund an $18.5 million school bond. Proposition Kids passes easily, 1424 to 539. School bond also on the ballot in Rich Hill. It called for a tax hike. Voters said yes to that idea. A sales tax proposal in Barton County was to provide central dispatching for various emergency services such as fire and ambulance. 60% of voters said yes to that plan. Ballots in Nevada, Missouri included a $15 million revenue bond proposal for the waterworks and sewer system. Voters apparently liked that idea. The vote was 517 to 243. The White Rock Fire Protection District proposed a plan that would change its funding formula, increasing sales tax while reducing property taxes. That proposal passes. Voters in Fidelity, Missouri accepted a plan to impose a half-cent sales tax for economic development. Voters in a number of communities considered a so-called use tax. That's typically imposed on certain goods and services that are not subject to a sales tax. Jasper County voters approved that use tax there by a wide margin. The use tax proposal also appeared on Carl Junction ballots. More than 1,100 votes were cast, and it appears to fail narrowly by 3 votes. The proposal to impose a local use tax in Nevada passed on a vote of 485 to 282. And one more use tax on ballots today. This one in Knoll, Missouri. Voters there approved that proposal. Knoll voters also considered a 3% tax on the sale of recreational marijuana. Voters said yes to that idea by a wide margin. And voters in Asbury easily passed an identical marijuana tax proposal for their community. In addition to the various tax questions, voters in a number of Southwest Missouri and Northeast Oklahoma communities elected members to various school boards and city-county positions. You're going to find the latest numbers from many of those races at KOAMnewsnow.com. Last night, storm damage was just across the street from the Jasper County Courthouse. Part of it was anyway. Fortunately, the storm did not damage any of the polling locations, but it did damage power lines, knocking out electricity to the courthouse. The Jasper County Clerk, Charlie Davis, tells us the power returned 10 minutes before the polling locations opened. Well, that was a little nerve-wracking. He says his team was ready.
Even though sometimes there might be little glitches, maybe the poll pad might not stay charged up or whatever the case may be, we always have contingencies to make sure that when a voter comes in, they vote and they cast their ballot without a delay.
We spoke to poll workers in Jasper County earlier today who said the weather wasn't exactly helping voter turnout. They said they were on track at that time to get about a 10% turnout. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
All right, Mr. Quick. It'd be nice if I loaded my graphic, but yeah, for us today, much cooler outside. Temperatures for highs only went into the upper 50s, and that was a midnight high. All afternoon, we were sitting mainly into the upper 40s. 66 is the average, so well below where we should be for this time of the year. And we're going to do that again as we go into tomorrow. Let's go outside. It's 41 in Joplin, it's 44 in Pittsburgh. We're looking at a cold night. We're going to drop back upper 30s for overnight lows. You can still see mid to upper 40s in our western counties, but the winds are really going to start to get cranking, especially later on tonight. You can see them switching out of the northwest, so it's going to get really windy as we go through the next couple days. Pretty much clear skies right now, a few little clouds are drifting through. Besides that, we're going to have a slow warming trend the next few days, and we're going to look at our eclipse weather here in just a bit.
See you then. Roofs peeled up, trees and telephone poles down, roads completely blocked, and a lot of windows broken. This is just some of the aftermath from last night's storm as it tore through much of the area, including the Carthage Square. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has more.
Literally, it was like someone just kicked you in the gut because you think you just lost the entire building. And worse than that, I thought I lost a very good friend.
Murphy's Law Restaurant and Bar's owner Frank Lyon describes these scary moments he lived inside his business as a straight line winds hit Carthage.
I get this alert on my phone, tornado warning. Almost immediately after we got hit, like all the lights went off. You could feel the building shake. You hear the stuff being blown around, everything else. I'm yelling at my wife to get downstairs.
After making sure everybody was safe, Lyon had the chance to assess some of the damage.
It's still soaked, so I'm kind of worried about this because it's now really soft. But it was like a waterfall coming down here.
The glass on his front door and his roof all went to the ground.
Everybody's exhausted because we've been trying to clean everything up all night.
Right now, I am next to the roof of one of the buildings around the area, but business owners were telling me that at this point they cannot even know if the piece of roof is from their businesses or not. A lot of the debris has nails on them, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of these streets here are closed.
It looked like a war zone. I mean, it looked like everything's in the street. I had people next door to me crying in the street, and their cars are damaged, it's wiped out.
One of the next door neighbors whose car was damaged is Eli Wills. He said he just recently finished paying it off.
It really sucks trying to start from square one and build something, and it's all just taken.
Not only his car was damaged, but also the apartment where he lives.
To be honest, with the glass shattering, the water falling, and the way the building was shaking, and I know how old it is, I didn't know what was going on. I was scared.
A feeling shared with many other residents. In Carthage, Fernandez Silva, KOAM News.
Now, a lot of that debris was removed from around the square today. No injuries were reported. Carthage residents also shared concerns about not hearing tornado sirens. The city says the tornado warning alert was activated by the National Weather Service. At the same time, the electric company's computer indicated a power outage on the square. City officials say that time storm shelters were being opened.
We did make the call to try to get the shelters opened up, but as fast as it happened, I was behind the 8 ball on that, and I would have liked to have set the sirens off, and then I made the decision not to sound them after the tornado had hit.
Fire Chief Ryan Huntley tells us they're going to evaluate what can be done better in the future. Southeast Kansas shows its pride as 24 high school athletes make the all-state teams. John's going to have details coming up a little bit later in sports. But up first, the Joplin City Council discusses a possible fiber optic network for the city. The Joplin City Council tonight discussed the possibility of a fiber optic network. Members approved the proposal on first reading. If it's approved on second and third readings at a later meeting, the city would okay an agreement with the company Allo Missouri LLC to construct the fiber optic network. That network would help provide high-quality, high-speed internet access to Joplin residents and businesses.
Our core values, we want to make local, honest, exceptional, and hassle-free. So what we do is we make it easy for the residents of business to do business with us. We're going to have local employees in the marketplace. We're going to have storefronts. So no matter how the customer wants to do business, whether it's reaching out to us on the phone, stopping in our storefront, or just ordering through our website, we're there to take care of their needs.
Now, under the agreement, the network's facilities would be owned and operated by Allo, but allocated within the city. The Kansas Department of Health and Environment has issued a stream advisory for Shoal Creek from the Missouri state line to the confluence with the Spring River and south to the Oklahoma state line in Cherokee County. The KDHE says the stream advisory is a result of a raw sewage release near Joplin. You should not enter these areas of the stream or river, and please keep your children and pets away. Joplin police searched for a suspect in a shooting last night on Main Street. It happened around 8:15 p.m. at 817 South Main. Officers responded to a call and found a man with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. He was rushed to the hospital. Shortly after that, police surrounded a home on the 1500 block of South Wall in the search for a suspect. Authorities say they spotted the suspect in the backyard initially, but by the time they entered the home, they said the suspect was gone. We do not yet know the victim's current condition. The Oklahoma City Fire Department today responded to a house fire, and according to first responders, the fire was intentionally started while the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office was serving an eviction notice to a suspect in that home. Jennifer Pierce has details on what happened next.
We do know there's an older guy that stays there, and so, to see smoke coming out the house was kind of surprising.
The fire started in the home near Hefner and Rockwell Monday afternoon. Oklahoma County Sheriff's deputies were serving an eviction notice when a resident doused the floor with gasoline. One of the deputies tackled the man to try to stop him.
Once they got down, she was on top. The individual was able to get one hand free, taking the lighter that was in that hand, sparking it, and lighting the floor on fire.
The deputy had to rescue a disabled elderly woman from the home before it became engulfed in smoke and flames. Neighbors watched as fire crews put out the fire, later learning the man and possibly a dog didn't survive.
It just sounds so sad, and really we were just talking with a couple other people down the street of how we really just need to be checking in on our neighbors more. Exactly. and really making sure that people know that they're not alone.
Sheriff Johnson says the rescued woman was not hurt and the deputies were not injured. He says it's just another reminder of how a law officer's job can be unpredictable.
Evictions are extremely dangerous. It's a very emotional situation when you're walking in and you're talking about evicting someone out of their home.
Johnson says one of the deputies had been working with those who lived in the home to find them another place to live before serving the notice. A little bit later, the Boys and Girls Club breaks ground on a brand new home in Fairland, Oklahoma.
Plus, quite a bit cooler as we go through the next few days. We're going to look at that coming up next. Well, of course, much colder day outside today. We started the day in the 50s, dropped into the 40s, and sat there all day long. But the clouds have cleared out now, allowing our temperatures to drop back. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Let's go outside. Here are the temperatures. It's 39 Stockton, Carthage. Anderson, Bella Vista sitting lower 40s. We have Grand Lake at 42. Pittsburgh checking in at 44. Parsons 43. Chanute at 49. Independence sitting at 46 degrees. In Joplin, 41. South winds at about 5 to 10. But those are really going to increase as we go through the overnight hours. See how they're switching out of the northwest? They're going to start to get moving as we get into late tonight and then heading into the morning hours. Look at our gusts, 25, 30, maybe 35 miles per hour at times throughout the daytime hours for us tomorrow. Still breezy on Thursday, but they will slowly diminish as we go through the day, which definitely is good news. All right, so that means cold tonight, and with it being windy, that means our wind chills drop. So it's going to feel like mid-20s by the morning hours. So it's going to be cold. You're going to want to bundle up as you go through the morning hours. All the clouds out of here. We do have a few little clouds kind of rotating through, which will stay mainly on the Missouri side as it rotates around our big upper level low, producing quite a bit of snow up through parts of Wisconsin. Any severe weather that we had yesterday now across the Ohio River Valley once again. Quite a few tornado warnings with this storm system. Look at the upper level flow right out of Canada. Drops in that cooler air. That cooler air will be sticking around as we go through the next few days. Let's go through time for you tonight. Upper 30s to near 40 degrees. We do have some clouds which are going to rotate through as we continue through the daytime hours near 50. Partly cloudy skies, especially on the Missouri side. High temps, 55, maybe pushing 60 in our western counties. Tomorrow night, colder. We drop down right above freezing. The winds are still going to be out there a little bit. We may get a little bit of patchy frost. And then as we go into Thursday afternoon, a little bit better as we get near 60. But we should be topping out pushing 70 for this time of the year. Day planner on your Wednesday, 40 in the morning, 49 by noon. High temp, 55, of course. It is going to be windy. We are watching our next storm system. This is going to move in late Saturday. Thunderstorms rolling across the state of Kansas. Some of these could be strong, possibly severe. I think they'll weaken as they get in, but more thunderstorms Saturday night. We get a break on Sunday and a break on Monday before our next system moves out on Tuesday. But Monday is eclipse day, and this could be a problem. We want to see if this can clear up over the next few days, but of course, in the black lines here, that's your totality, and there's a lot of clouds out there, but hopefully we'll get a little bit lucky as we go through the next few days as we get closer. All right, 55 tomorrow, 58 on Thursday, 62 Friday, 71 Saturday. Temperatures great over the weekend, even though we're going to have a few thunderstorms, but pretty calm after a wild last night. Pretty calm for the next few days.
We need calm for the next few days.
We do. I need sleep.
Yeah, sure. You put in a long night.
Yeah.
You did a great job covering the severe
Thanks,
weather.
sir.
We appreciate it. Thank you. The city of Fairland, Oklahoma broke ground on a brand new Boys and Girls Club of Ottawa County. The size of that new building, they say, will serve current kids as well as kids on the waiting list, and as one official said, kids well into the future as it possibly expands. Funding for the project came through a partnership with the Cherokee Nation.
You know, Cherokee Nation, this is their jurisdiction. We're strong partners with Cherokee Nation. And Chief Hoskins allocated $5 million to Boys and Girls Clubs in Cherokee Nation Reservation. And so we were able to tap into those funds to secure the necessary resources to purchase this building. And then we've been able to gain additional partnerships to fund the renovation project as well.
That brand spanking new Boys and Girls Club is scheduled to have its grand opening in August. Still ahead, 24 local high school basketball players receive all-state honors in Kansas. And Webb City Baseball travels to McDonald County for a district championship rematch. John Dales has those stories and a lot more. It's coming up next.
This spring.
Two of the top student athletes at Northeast High School in Arma have already committed to the University of St. Mary. This morning, a third Viking standout joins them. Tayshawn Gaynor signs his letter of intent at Northeast to play football at University of St. Mary. The Viking senior joins his teammates, Dawson Troth and Braden Young. Both of them have already committed to the Spires. Gaynor is an honorable mention all-conference running back his senior year. He says this moment has been a long time coming.
I kind of liked the whole thing when I visited it, and the football coaches were real nice. They were real good. The plays were a little bit simpler and all that, and I have my two best friends going there too, so I kind of wanted to go somewhere I knew someone. It was pretty cool. I mean, I've been wanting to play college football since I was little. I always said I was going to do it, and today was the day I got to do it.
The Kansas Basketball Coaches Association releases its 2023-24 high school all-state teams today. 24 athletes from Southeast Kansas are represented, 14 boys, 10 girls. Lily Brown from Colgan and Keegan Yarrick from Fort Scott are the two girls from our area that make first teams all-state. Erie's Ethan Dillinger and Pittsburgh's Mason English are two boys that are first team all-state from the area. To see the full list, the other 20 local all-state basketball players, you can see it right now. Go to KOAMnewsnow.com/sports. Elsewhere to college football, former Carthage high schooler Arkel Smith, who went on to play college football at Central Missouri, signs with the Edmonton Elks of the Canadian Football League. Smith was a two-time All-State wide receiver with the Tigers. At UCM, he was an AP first-team All-American this past season. The CFL season begins in June. It ends with the Grey Cup in November. Pitt State baseball is coming off two consecutive road losses before hitting the road again to face the number 2 team in the country. The Gorillas have a game at home tonight, and the 24th ranked Gorillas win in the bottom of the 11th. That's a walk-off double from Nixon Brandon. It snaps a 2-game losing skid, and PSU goes on the road to the number 2 team in the nation at Central Missouri on the weekend. Webb City Cardinal baseball on the road this afternoon. Rematch of the district championship game from last year against McDonald County. First inning, Webb City's Drew Vonderhaar gets this one rolling. He hits it into center field, and a miscommunication lets that ball drop. Sean Hunt scores. The Cardinals lead it by 1. Second inning, things really open up for Webb. Cohen Epler grounds into left field. Check this out. Ball gets bobbled and the throw home. Hunter Scholl slides in safely. And now we're still in that same inning. Christian Brock crushes this pitch to left field. That's out of here. No doubt, 3-run homer. Cardinals score 7 runs in the second inning. Now Webb City solid defensively as well. In the 5th, Luke Beverlin gets a swinging strikeout. That would end this one early. Cardinals finish it off in just 5 innings. 13-0 final score. Webb City returns home Thursday to face Neosho. Cardinals went to state last year to bring back a lot of their impact players. They're looking very good already this season.
I don't know what it is in the water, but Webb City consistently, year after year, in sport after sport, cranks out award-winning athletes,
That they do.
state champion quality athletes. We'll be right back. Joplin High School's Performing Arts Center hosted the work of some very talented artists today. The annual Joplin K-12 Art Show showcased a variety of artwork from nearly every Joplin school. Joplin High School is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That show runs until April 16th. If you get a chance, you might want to check it out. The weather looking up in the coming days.
Yeah, it's going to be cold tonight. We're going to drop back upper 30s, but 55 tomorrow, 58 on Thursday. So we're going in the right direction. 62 on Friday. 70s return as we head into the weekend. We are going to get some thunderstorms Saturday night, so that's our next chance for rain across the region. But overall, not bad.
Final sports night.
Baseball tonight. The Royals win on the road in Baltimore. The Cardinals not done yet, but winning by 1 in the 8th inning.
There you go. Thanks for joining us. Morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.